This is the Blue Eye Girl.
Hey, this is Lauren with the Blue Eye Girl. So for this week, July 15th to July 21st, I decided to do a rose themed spread in my Erin Condren Life Planner. So first thing that I did was I measured out the boundaries that cover the hexagon, the top left hand side of my planner, and I'll show you that when I get to my planner. Once I figured out how wide and tall I had to do it on a piece of paper, I then took a reference picture and I started to basically trace a rose. I will admit, I'm not really an artist. I can draw lines, I can draw curved lines, and if my picture looks like I wanted to at the end of the day, I'm happy. I don't know, I just was really inspired by roses and I wanted to add a little touch of me, do a little Lauren sticker, but I'll just go ahead and speed this up for you guys. So after I sketched out my rose, I decided that I wanted to write July across the center of it. So I took a ruler to draw 2 lines across the center to map out where I was gonna write July. And then after this, I took a black Tombow pen to trace over the pencil lines that I already drew. So some of my best childhood memories have to do with my mom and her rose garden. I remember when I was about 5 or 6 years old, we had a lot of rain, and so the roses were in crazy bloom, and then we had one more big rainstorm and just all of them were just so heavy with that weight of that water that they just all bent over. And so if we hadn't cut them down, what would have happened is all the roses would have gotten sick. So my mom and I in our little raincoats went out and we cut all the roses off the bushes and brought them in. We had so many roses that by the end of the day, every glass, every bowl, every coffee mug, every vase, anything that could hold water had roses in it. That's just one of my favorite childhood memories. So after I outlined my rose in black, I traced out the lettering for July in the center. But once I did that, I didn't like how it looked. It was just way too small. And so what I decided to do was get out some pink washi so that I could just write over the washi. And since I'd already traced out the July in black, I used some white out to just make sure I did that. And of course, my washi was too thick, so off camera, what I did was I cut it in half. That way, it wasn't taking up like 3/4 of my rose. And so after I did that and touched it up with white out, of course, because I didn't want to see any of that black pen under my washi tape, I went ahead and I laid down the washi tape and then wrote July over that with my Tombow pen in cursive. And honestly, this was a happy accident. This ended up a lot prettier than my original version, at least in my opinion. And here is the finished sticker. So this week I used paint samples from my local hardware store. I also used a Secret Garden paper pad, some beautiful silver scrap paper, and I also used a kind of like a dusty pink rose glitter paper. The color doesn't really show up on the camera. And then I also found this pink foiled ribbon paper that I'm going to be using for bullet points. So here is my sticker in my Erin Condren, and I decided that that is way too much white to go on white. So what I decided to do was white out all of this hexagon, and so I can put some washi tape over it to kind of create more of a background. I couldn't find my rose washi tape no matter how hard I looked. It's around here somewhere. So I actually found this beautiful, like kind of like a pink peonies, I think it is, maybe a hydrangea. I'm not a botanist to put down, and so that's what I'm doing here. I'm just using my Starbucks card to line up the edge so that when I use my washi tape cutter, it's nice and straight because I love me some straight lines. And yeah, so I just quickly went through this. After I I got my sticker situated over its bed of hydrangeas or peonies or whatever that flower is, I decided to go ahead and basically tape down my glitter headers. So the top headers that are right below the dates are actually about a 1/16 of an inch bigger than the other two right below them, and so I had to make sure that I had my thicker or my wider glitter headers out. And so what I did was I took some double-sided Scotch tape that I actually cut into 3 pieces. It was a little bit arduous, but I accidentally ordered the thicker or the wider type of tape rather than the thinner, so when I reorder it, I'm definitely going to do a thinner and maybe do something that's similar to like the whiteout stick or the whiteout roller that I have. That way it goes a lot quicker, because I think a lot of my time was eaten up in doing this, but I just absolutely love how it turned out. Here's what my spread looks like once I finish those glitter headers. And if you want to do a minimalist approach, you can stop right here. This already looks gorgeous. But what I decided to do next was to take this gorgeous gold foiled rose paper from my Michael's Secret Garden paper pad. Now that's a mouthful. And I cut it to size off of camera so that I can just stick down some double-sided sticky tape and cover up those blue boxes at the bottom of my Erin Condren. And I'm just going to go ahead and speed up the next page for you. Once I got my bottom paper taped down, I decided to plan out how I was going to tape down my box fillers that I cut off camera. And I wanted to pre-plan out where I was going to tape them down, because I didn't want to tape them down and then regret the order and try to peel them up and they just get ruined because they're just already so beautiful. And I already have a limited quantity because I do have that paper pads. I don't have these huge pieces of paper, and why be wasteful? So that's what I'm doing here, is just kind of trying to figure out where I want to situate them. So roses to me represent transformation. Just think about it. They start out as these sticks sprouting from the ground with these evil prickly thorns that are just menacing. Yet in the spring, these beautiful voluminous flowers just sprout from them, and they are in every color. They have small roses and big roses, and some of the roses are multiple colors. And it's crazy how something that is seemingly lifeless, stark, scary can turn into something so beautiful. I think that's why roses represent transformation, maybe much like a caterpillar. Who knows? But transformation's a really good theme for my life right now. Because if I were to think back where I was last July, I've changed a lot. And I think that's because I decided to go to the teaching credential program and get my teaching credential in English so that I can be a teacher. And I learned so much about myself, about what I stand for, about what's important in this world, and I learned a lot of issues that are facing our students today that I didn't even realize. And I'm going to be starting my first year of teaching here in August. I'm going to finally be adulting, starting my career, making money, trying to save money, and that's a big change from where I was just a couple of years ago. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to be a teacher and to do what I love, but I'm also terrified. And change isn't easy, but I'm just really excited. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking now and go ahead and speed up this video. Now that I have taped down my what I'm going to do is set up my to-do list dashboard with a piece of paper that I got from the Secret Garden Padlet from Michaels. And since I hadn't originally planned on using washi tape that far down, I ended up having to cut down my dashboard to size off camera. That way it fit on those lines perfectly without overlapping in a funky way. Next, I decided to take the sticker booklet that I got with my Erin Condren planner. I got the first time buyer kit or whatever they call it on the site, and I decided to get a ribbon. And since this week's color scheme is pink, I wanted to do a little bit of color matching and make sure that the pink went with the shades of pink that I've already been using. And so I picked this beautiful, I'm going to call it a dusty rose pink ribbon that actually fit perfectly across my dashboard that I created, which makes sense because the dashboard fits perfectly on those lines right below the rows to the left of the actual schedule part of the planner. And so I went ahead and I stuck it down, and I think I'm just not used to doing stickers with fake nails because this was an arduous process. And I have not addressed the elephant in the room yet, my naked pinky nail. I do apologize. It broke off sometime like a week ago, right after I got my nails, and I just haven't taken the time to get my nails redone because they were just done. So I'm just gonna ride it out until it's time for my next fill. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I am lightly sketching out the lettering for my to-do list. That way I know where I'm going to be writing over with my black Tombow pen. I actually zoomed in here because I was leaning in so close that most of my hair and head was taking up a big part of the screen. And even though I wear glasses, I actually have a really hard time seeing, so I tend to lean in a lot. That's why, like, early in the video, you might see me, like, it seems like I'm just randomly zooming in and out. It's because my head's coming into frame and it's kind of taking over the actual footage. And so that's why I am zoomed in here. So I will go ahead and speed this up. That was a lot of work for such a small dashboard, but I definitely think it was worth it. All right, so I have a beautiful gold foiled Days of the Week kit by Barnes and Moon, and I will try to leave the link in the description below. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover up all these dates here at the top of the page with these beautiful stickers. But first things first, I need to white out these numbers. That way there is no see-through, I guess you could call it. See-through, that's a weird way to say it. Anyways, that way you can't see the dates and the numbers below the actual stickers. So I'm going to go ahead and speed through this again. After I laid down the day stickers for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I went ahead and I put the numbers 15, 16, and 17 to the left of the day of the week before flipping it over. That way I wasn't flipping back and forth quite as much. And so now on the right side of this weekly spread, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. A little bit of whiteout, some day stickers, and then put the dates to the left of the days of the week. All right, let's speed this up again. The next thing I'm going to do is I am going to tape in the gold foiled ribbon header on the side so they can act like bullet points. So I had to basically cut the double-sided tape lengthwise, and it was a little bit tricky. So I'm just going to fast forward through this so we can get on to the actual planning where I put in my schedule for this week. Okay, now that I have my gold foiled ribbon paper taped in onto my to-do dashboard as basically little bullet points, I can go ahead and finally start making my to-do list and then getting into what I actually have to do this week. So I love to-do lists. I feel like it kind of puts everything that I need to do in the week in one easy place that I can look at. And I am taking two graduate level English courses right now. So if I had to put all of the reading and the videos and everything I need to do into one box or on the due date, it would become a jumbled mess, and I also am not the best at writing small. So this also kind of helps me to see what I've done and what I haven't done, and I just love crossing out things that I have done. I don't know, it's just satisfying. And so what I am doing this week is I am using purple for my class for teaching composition, pink is for teaching adult literacy, and then black is just going to be everything I need to do that doesn't have to do with school. So I'm going to go ahead and speed through this, and then I'm going to start putting in due dates and different things that are happening this week. Now that my to-do list is completed, I'm going to write down some things that I need to do around the house this week. And after I finish this video, I realized that I didn't write down everything I need to do. I forgot to put clean my room, clean the house, and just a few other things. This week is my mom's birthday, and for her birthday we are going to be going out to dinner. To mark the momentous occasion, I found a really cute birthday sticker from one of the Happy Planners sticker kits. It's one of the teacher ones, and so I'm just placing down the sticker and marking our plans for her actual birthday down in my planner. I need to write in the due dates for assignments this week for both of my classes, so I am going ahead and doing that in purple and in pink. I'm really happy this semester that my classes have assignments due on different days. I'm used to all my assignments being due on Thursdays, and the way this semester is working out is I have assignments due on Thursday for one class and Friday for another. This week, I'm also trying to spend some time with my dad. So I am using one of the sticky notes that come with the Erin Condren Planner to write down sushi and movie with dad. That's our thing. Lately we've been going out to sushi and then right after going and seeing a movie, and I'm just absolutely loving it. My dad and I actually use sushi's just our thing. Like since I was a kid, we would go out for weekly sushi after gymnastics, after tennis. And once I started dating my boyfriend and it became a thing with my boyfriend and our friend group, I stopped going out so much with sushi with my dad. And I'm really glad that we are finally getting back into a tradition that we've been doing since I was about 6 years old. For my mom's birthday, we're not only going out for dinner, she and I are going to have a girls' weekend in San Francisco where we're going to go to the Botanical Gardens for a 12 piano concert thing that has food trucks, which sounds really fun, and we're going to go hiking in Golden State Park. I'm really excited. I definitely am the type of person lately who's been just wanting to do the same thing, not break with routine, stay home, be a homebody, and I'm really glad that I have this opportunity to go to San Francisco this weekend and change things up a little bit. After laying down my washing tape and tracing out San Francisco in pencil, I am going over it with my black Tombow pen to make it really stand out, and since I'm not good at lettering, penciling it in first always helps. This week, I want to do another plan with me, but because I'm going to San Francisco this weekend, I have birthday dinner with my mom, and I'm trying to go out to dinner with my dad. It might not happen. That's why I'm putting it on a sticky note so I can move it if I need to, because I have to make sure I get my schoolwork done first, and hopefully I can have time to do another plan with me this week. And here is a close-up of the finished planner. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I definitely enjoyed making it. Please like and subscribe. Have a great week, and I will see you next video.